Today I'm going to talk to you about language barriers in verbal communication. Specifically, I'm going to talk to you about misunderstanding and attitudes. But first I'm going to touch on what language barriers are for those of you who don't know. So language barriers are typically caused by two people who speak a different language or one person who has a strong accent or dialect communicating. And because communication isn't strictly concrete, this creates this giant potential for misunderstanding. And there are three common language-based barriers, but I'm going to touch on two of those, which are misunderstanding and attitudes, as I mentioned before. So we'll start with misunderstanding. Bypassing is a form of misunderstanding that occurs between a sender and a receiver. And so this is saying that what the receiver heard and what they understand aren't always the same. And bypassing occurs in everyday situations. Say a teenager is talking to their grandparent about the concert they went to last night, and the teen says, "The concert that I went to was sick." And the older person would think sick means ill, the person is ill, and that has a negative connotation. So the older person would think, oh, it wasn't a good concert, but the teen really means the concert was awesome. And so that demonstrates that words in our everyday language have more than one meaning. And bypassing becomes much more complex when people use their common everyday language with people from different cultures. Another time that you'll see bypassing is now in our presidential election. Politicians will say one thing to get you to believe or accept another thing. So now on to attitudes. Indiscrimination is the neglect of individual differences and overemphasis of similarities. And language plays a significant role in our tendency to see similarities between things that don't actually exist, like saying students cheat or celebrities are greedy. And this interpretation is saying all students cheat and all celebrities are greedy, instead of saying some celebrities are greedy and some students cheat. And this categorization leads to stereotyping. And stereotyping forms attitudes about certain groups of people. And whether that stereotype is positive or negative, that takes away that individuality of those individuals. So there are some ways of reducing indiscrimination. The first way is indexing. And this is a way to point out differences that distinguish various members of a group. For example, with the previous examples, it would make you ask which students cheat and which celebrities are greedy. So you could say Kanye West is a greedy celebrity. The other way to reduce indiscrimination would be dating, and this is where you would put a specific time on your information so that you can acknowledge that things change over time. Thank you.